Hey everyone, welcome back to another World of Tanks live video. So, you guys have a way of sometimes surprising me. Not often, but every once in a while you surprise me. And this time you surprised me by having the Batchat 15558 Tier 10 French artillery piece being the only tank that's been voted for twice. I didn't see that coming, but we'll do it. I have no problem playing this thing. So I'll tell you about it here in a moment, what makes it unique, and then I'm going to also, but first, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to decide what tank to play first. So obviously you guys suggest tanks, and I pick them. How it's going to work, though, as for what order I play them in, that's going to depend on how many votes each tank gets. At this point, I've taken as of 4 hours after the episode 50 was released, is what it is right now. I've taken, as of that time, all the tanks that have been requested. I've written them down on a sheet, and then every time a new comment comes in, I get an email saying that. So I'm going to keep track of all the emails I get since then and add that to the tally. And then whichever gets the most votes will be the one that's played next at that time. And if it's voted for at some point, then hopefully it'll come into the list sooner rather than later. So we'll see how that goes. There is also a feature that I used a little while ago for the first time, where you can kind of vote for a certain thing, or you can run a poll, I guess you'll call it, within like the top right corner of a YouTube video, and you can access that on mobile devices and on the computer or wherever you're watching the video. I'd like to use that, but I don't know of I'm trying to decide on a good way to use that without having all 75 tanks listed in there. And otherwise, I don't know, maybe I'll figure something out, but maybe not. But yeah, anyway. So, Batchat 15558. I usually just call it the Tier 10 French because it's kind of confusing, because we look at the tech tree here, and the French tech tree, you can see, you get up to the tier, I pointed out my screen with my finger and my mouse, that works well when they can't see you. the Tier 7, for example, Lorraine 15550, and then you get to the Tier 8, Lorraine 15551. So how many of you that haven't played the artillery line here know, without looking at this, which one is the 50 and which one's the 51? It makes sense because it's a bigger number, but I don't know, logic. And the same goes with the Batchat. So usually when somebody asks me about it or I talk about it, I call it the Tier 10 French already. So what makes this thing unique? This thing is rather unique because it has a 4-round autoloader. Now, the downside of that is that it has to wait 75 seconds between reloads. But between each individual shell, there is a 6-second delay, which means that to unload all 4 clips, after firing the first one, it would take you an additional 18 seconds to fire the other 2 in total. Or the other 3, sorry, other 3 in total. And most of these French artillery are quite speedy. We'll get into battle here as I talk. They are all pretty fast. The Tier 8, I believe, is the fastest. The Tier 7 is reasonably speedy as well. The Tier 9 is a little bit slower than the Tier 8, and this Tier 10 is a little bit faster than the Tier 9. So, speed order, Tier 8 is the fastest, followed by the Tier 10, followed by the Tier 7 and the Tier 9 are probably pretty close. I think the 7 might beat it, but I'm not entirely sure. I have to go back and look. But let's load into the battle here, see what happens. Remember, we have a 75-second reload, then we let these shells fly. And it can be mildly fun. I've learned that to make sure your shells all hit, as tempted as you are to just fire them as fast as you can, that 6 seconds between each shell, it takes you probably, I'm guessing again, 8 seconds to completely re-aim after you fire a shell. So you do have to slow that down a little bit if you want to be reliably accurate. But it's nice too, because this autoloader means you have several shots at a tank, so it's not like you fire one, they become unspotted, you never see him again for another 3 minutes in the battle. You can kind of usually put a couple shots in their direction before they finally go, oh crap, I should back out of here, or a slow tank won't be able to get to cover in time, kind of thing. But this is what I usually do with my artillery, so I should probably, this is going to come back to haunt me if someone's ever in a battle and the enemy team is being in artillery. Anything that's reasonably fast, so pretty much any of the French above Tier 5. I've always gone back over here, and then I like to shoot at the kind of heavy tank corner down at the J9-ish area. I need to make sure I get my tank at an angle where my gun isn't going to be pointing straight up in the air, because these French artillery have literally 0 gun depression. So trying to shotgun anything in front of you, even if you're on flat ground, can sometimes be difficult if they're really close to you. But this is where I like to look, and of course I have this mod for artillery, which is really nice. Part of the mod pack, which link in the description again, if you are interested. Seems like a few people have been interested in it and have gotten it. So they're kind of spooked by the other tanks that are the mob that's coming here. I could hit that IS-7 on the right side of my screen as well if I want. E100 is not the greatest target to hit because he's got lots of armor and quite a bit of spaced armor on the side. So, oh, I'll hit this FE then. Thank you very much. Show me your side. Oh. Rather unfortunate. Well, he's going to hide. I'll pick on the E75. Maybe we'll keep him. Oh, no, he fixed his track. Even though we hit him in the lower plate with a high explosive round. Oh, that one went too far to the right. RNG, it will bite you in this, though. It'll bite you in a lot of artillery. And this is a tough shot. What's the chances of this hitting? I hit his gun. It did no damage. So unfortunately, with those 4 shots, we had 348 damage done. It's unfortunate. If it penetrates a shell with this, with the high explosive rounds, it'll do 1,250 damage, which is pretty nice if it penetrates. But being artillery, firing high explosive rounds that have how much penetration? 90? 95 penetration. It doesn't happen very often, and but when it does, it's of course very satisfying. So now we're going to kind of look here and think, all right, so it's a good time to look at the mini-map. And my mission, by the way, is to kill an SPG that has not been spotted. So if I wasn't busy talking, I might have been looking up here, looking for tracers, trying to plan on where I could shoot an artillery. And me, myself, I haven't moved after firing my shots. Often a bad idea to do, because you might get counter-artilleried. Doesn't happen as much as you might think. Can I hit this guy? Not unless he moves forward. There is artillery, or not artillery, a heavy tank at our base though, so let's get in position to try to help with him. See if we can do that with a couple tanks there without getting ourselves spotted. That rock is going to cause problems. We might be able to hit them. Only if they come up the side though. I don't know if he will though. Alright, let's get a better position where we can actually support them, because they're probably not going to come out of that side and they're probably going to need help. And if our forces over there lose, then I'm also going to be in trouble. So what I'll do is come up over here, take up some ground where I can kind of hide behind the ridgeline if necessary. Point the gun back that way, and well, they've got it under control now. So moving on, there's a couple lights and light and medium up there at C3 on the mini map. Let's turn my slow turret around. It does have a turret, which is really nice, but it's definitely not a speedy turret. It has enough range to go across the map, so I don't really need to be this close, but closer is kind of helps your accuracy a little bit too. As long as you don't get spotted, then it's good. Oh, nope. Back up a little bit more, guy. Come on, come on. Do it. We can't win, can we? Nope. Didn't lead enough. And now I've got this cliff in my way. Nah. Only one shell before a 76-second reload. Alright, T95, what are you doing? Now if I would have stayed where I was, I could have shot at this guy. It's probably gonna get me spotted. Oh no, well, guess it didn't get me spotted. I do have 6 cent. It got me spotted. Can I hit him over the cliff? I can. The artillery, or the French artillery, do not have very steep firing arcs either, which means it's tough to shoot over top of obstacles. Gonna go forward again, or is he gonna keep reversing? Oh! Whoever said artillery is overpowered and needs to be rebalanced? No, it kind of does. It's not really overpowered. It's just that it's inconsistent, I guess. You'll miss all these shots and then hit things, do very little damage, and all of a sudden, kaboom! A whole tank nuked. And now all that's left is that T-49 who is hiding up here somewhere. So boo! That was a terrible battle. We had one hit. One hit. One hit. So now you saw what a horrible battle can go like. Hopefully this works like the other 2 videos I've done here recently. And the first battle, but second battle, perfect. We damaged his gun when we hit his gun. I would have much preferred to have actually done some health point damage, even if it was just 100 or something. But the French do not have very large splash radiuses, which means, well, if you don't hit something in the right, if you don't quite hit something directly, splash damage doesn't always become your friend. It's tough in that way. Which I think that artillery should kind of be changed in a way where, and you can argue it, I know it's ups and downs, or maybe a direct hit shouldn't do such massive amounts of damage. Maybe every hit should do the 400 or 500 damage, but have a larger splash radius. But at the same time, tanks like the T-92, that's not fair when you get splashed 10 meters away from your tank. The creator doesn't even touch your tank, and then you lose half your health anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a horrible idea. It probably is. Alright, so now what? Looks like they have quite a few scary mediums, so going over here could be a very scary idea. Instead, let's be in the camo area. I was going to go hide a river edge there and get some shots in different places, but I don't like the idea of all those mediums. And I knocked down a tree. It's not really the best camo situation either, but at least I have that rock right there for hard cover if I need to use it. Doesn't knock down more bushes and trees. Hopefully artillery was not watching the enemy. Usually one of the first people spotted are right here, peeking around this corner. And usually I'm seated over by where that M53, 55 is on the map, if you can see him. He's in A3, A4 there. Oh, I believe that was an ammo rack, was it not? It was. Oh, he's sitting right there. Reload, come on. Yep, no one's in the north, so if that, say those 2 Object 140s come along there, that could be a problem. That artillery fired at that E50 and missed. Oh, I saw that break. E50's probably making a break for it. Or else someone is approaching. One or the other. I wish that RE50 would peek around the corner. Artillery's being blinked at. Is that because he's in a dangerous location? There's this guy. Guy drive in a straight line and at a constant speed. Don't hide behind rocks or become unspotted. That's unfair. There we go. Tracked him. Did some damage. See if we can finish him off here. Blind shot. We hit him. Didn't kill him. What is he? He has 352 health before we hit him. He is very lucky to have survived that. Did we hit his gun barrel too? Don't tell me we hit his gun barrel too. But now we're reloading. And that middle road over here is not looking amazing either. Let's switch to this view. Where is it? Over here. Can't hit over this mountain from here either. Oh, hi IS-7, who is approaching uncomfortably close. E5 over there. Hopefully he'll hold him off. Kind of worried about a few flanks right now. Oh, now there's a 140 over here. E5 is in big trouble. He's gonna be just about dead before I'm reloaded too. Depending on what happens here. Nice job, M40. Did you see that guy? Track himself? He did not, but maybe I can finish him off. Get one more gun out of the game. Oh, come on. RNG. I got him eventually. Oh, hide. Oh, I'm spotted. I'm dead, but... Oh, I hit him. My death, anyway. So I did 1,287 to him. I'm glad I got that last shot off. I had just hit the gas at the same time I fired there, too, to try to get down to the low ground on the riverbed. I didn't have a whole lot of other choices. I knew I was being looked at by something, being spotted for several seconds. 6 cents went off, and there's, I think, a 3-second delay between you getting spotted and 6 cents actually going off anyway. So I was spotted for 5 seconds or something there. In that last 6-second reload, because of that, felt like the longest reload ever. So not too great either. Maybe it'll be voted for again, and we'll have another shot at this that time around. North fell a little bit quicker than I had initially thought it was going to. Last couple guys up there got picked off pretty quick. Didn't take a whole lot of guys with them. And we didn't have that great of a game, and minus the hit on the Waffenträger, which was over half the damage we did in this game, we didn't do too great on that either. Artillery, though, this game, it's only 5 minutes in. Artillery really does best in the long games, because the more shots it can fire from safety, the better. Whereas a lot of other tanks don't necessarily have the same advantage to the same extent, because they're out there, they're taking the major risks, they're getting shot at the whole time throughout the game. So the longer the game, the more they get worn down, etc., etc. So it doesn't necessarily mean an advantage, as opposed to having a short game where they get shot just as many times, I guess. But artillery, on the other hand, artillery likes those 10-minute games, those 10, 12, 15-minute games. But it is what it is. Let's go watch this 140, see if you can take out this IS-7. Maybe our team can pull us back. We're only down by 1 tank, and 3 of their tanks are artillery. We don't have any of ours left. I should have ran earlier, I guess. I was thinking about going off to the F4 area, over to the left over here, to safety, but there was also tanks in that area at the time too. It looks like most of them flanked around to the north, I suppose. And plus there was tanks down south where that enemy E3 was. It looks like our team's going to pull this off unless artillery gets really lucky now, at least. So it's a win, I suppose. I'm happy I hit the Waffenträger. I probably broke his gun, killed a crew member or something too. Usually that happens when you hit those things. But anyways, guys, remember to vote for which tank you'd like to see down below in the comments. Of course, on my website, there is a tank list that... Oh, nice shot. There is a tank list that shows all the tanks I currently have. I believe it's 75 of them. Number subject to change. And go on there, check out what I have, vote for them down in the comments until I get some kind of real voting system ready, which will probably never happen, but this is fine. And yeah, we'll decide from there. And keep an eye out in the top right corner of videos from now on. It should give you a little bit of a reminder at the end of the video if there is one, but a poll. In the top right corner, if there is a poll, there'll be a little circle, white circle with an eye inside of it. If you click that, it'll bring up a poll that you can do right as you're watching the video. It'll pop up kind of over top of the video as a transparent window. So it's super easy to do. Super convenient, super helpful for me. I might ask you random little questions. I might ask, hey, so I've got these 2 tanks that are tied. Which one do you want to see first, or something like that? But won't necessarily be that in this video. Maybe, I haven't decided, but probably not. But looks like we win, despite how that game kind of went. But anyways, guys, oh, what did we break? All right, this is the guy that rolled himself. That was a little bit of comic relief. Thanks for that, guy. And then Waffenträger, let me guess, gun? Yes, damage his gun and killed his commander. The gun on these things breaks really easy, but it's maybe because I haven't driven one, I feel different, but it seems like it always gets damaged before it gets broken. Not always, but most of the time, from my experience shooting at them, even if you hit them with a massive gun like that artillery. But the Waffenträger 100 being removed in place and being replaced by the Grill 15 in the next update, and 915. So we'll see what happens then. It'll be just as delicate and juicy to shoot, but maybe not quite as big of a target. We'll see, I suppose. But thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed our terrible artillery battle, and I'll see you next time. Bye.